are live. Welcome everybody that's tuning in for another episode of Cucina Quarentina. That's part of our Where in the World programming. This is our Patagonia week, and we have really got something special planned for you this morning. You've probably noticed that I am not Sarah. Sarah is traveling today, flying home from Europe, where she's been doing all kinds of social media. I'm sure many of you have tuned in. I am Reed Cohen. I'm subbing for her. I work for Imprint Tours, and we collaborate with Sarah on many of our tours, as well as our Where in the World programming. So I'll be your host today, and we are going to do Argentine barbecue today. So we've got a couple of our good friends there, and you can see them already on the screen. Getting their barbecue ready. We're going to learn all about this. And I guess I should make a disclaimer right here. Sarah is the one with the interest in cooking and the knowledge and the experience. I am kind of the opposite. I've been joking that if it doesn't come out of a microwave, I don't quite know how to handle it. So I will be more of an observer than anything today. I will learn with you, but I can almost smell that barbecue right now. It looks fantastic. And even though I'm not an expert about cooking, I am an enthusiastic eater. So I have a vested interest here. Also, one last little bit of nuts and bolts here. I'm broadcasting from home here in Loveland, Colorado, and there is a delivery scheduled for my house today, sometime in the next 2 hours. So if they come, I'm going to have to jump up and open doors and let them deliver a big package inside. I need to leave my phone on, so my phone might be ringing. I think everybody understands, but I wanted you to know that that might be happening. So guys, are you ready for me to introduce you? Can you come back on screen there?
Yes, we are.
There we go. There's Luciano that many of you will have met yesterday, and Xavier, his compadre, his compatriot in cooking. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys take it away. What are you doing there? What's going on? What are you cooking? What's happening? Take it away.
Today is a very typical Argentinian barbecue. We are starting with ribs, some chorizos, which are sausages, and then we are cooking some vegetables and French fries. And in this grill, we will cook ribeye and some kind of Argentinian meat.
Okay.
We started a bit earlier because in Argentina we cook very slowly. We don't
Okay.
like to cook very quick. We like to take time. We put this meat on the grill, first always on the bones sides, around an hour ago.
Okay.
Here now, we need at least half an hour more cooking of this, and then we'll start with the grill here.
Hey, Xavier, let me interrupt a little bit. Can you guys turn the volume up a little bit? Your voice is soft.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think we are all up.
Okay.
No, I need to talk a bit less closer from the phone.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, if that's possible. I think we were able to make you out just fine, but had to work at it a little bit. So.
Look, I think we can do it in this way.
Sure.
Well.
Yeah.
Good. This is what we are cooking today. We are in San Telmo neighborhood, which is the oldest area in Buenos Aires. Luciano, Laura, Olivia, and Astor is my son.
Hola. Hello. Can you say hello?
Hello. A bit English.
Suddenly shy.
We are cooking ribs. We put it on the fire, on the grill very slowly around 1 hour ago. And we are cooking some vegetables, French fries, sausages. And here we will cook a ribeye.
Okay.
We have a very extended tradition of meat right here in Argentina. We really like it, a lot of meat. Basically, when we say meat, we are talking of cow. We are not talking about chicken or fish. We put specific name. We say chicken or fish. When we say meat, we are talking something red.
Yeah. There's a funny thing here. If I take somebody to a restaurant and tell the waiter this person is vegetarian, they offer chicken, fish, ham, and cheese.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it works. I like to say that in Argentina, the base ingredients of our diet is meat,
Mhm.
beef, steak, and cattle. The four basic ingredients of our food. The rest comes later.
Right.
But
Now, isn't there a name for, I've been calling it Argentine barbecue for our viewers, but don't you have a name for this in Argentina?
Yes, asado.
Asado. Yeah, that's it.
Asado.
Asado.
This is the name we use. But specific, when we say asado, it's cooked on the grill. When always depend what you put on the grill.
Okay.
In the case of today, we are cooking these ribs, and this, when you go to the butcher shop, you ask, I want asado, because this part we call the same. We call asado.
Okay. So does that mean asado is a cut of meat as well as just
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Basically, asado are ribs cooked
Okay.
in in lines like this and slim like slice like this.
Yeah.
Imagine Argentina have a very particular influence. Sorry. That's
that is work. Sorry, Brad.
And in Argentina, we have the Pampas lands, which represented a very flat area with a lot of humidity. It rained 1,500 millimeters every year, with a lot of humus, which make very fertile place. When the Spaniards arrived here, they left cows and horses, and then they left the area. And after 40 years, when Spaniards back, they find all the cows.
No,
and
this is
horses.
Reed. Good. I'm right in the middle of something. Can you call me back in about an hour?
So this is Sadio. He keeps on going. Also, the name.
No, I really don't have time. Please call me
It
back
is
in
a
an
word
hour.
we
Thank you.
use for throw something away. So the people who were like in the beginning cutting the cows and let's say I don't remember the name you have for the one in charge to cut to do the cuts. Well, they used to throw away this. So the people, the ones who couldn't pay for a good cut, they used to say, "Give me the tira." Tira is what they just throw away. We say
Mhm.
tirar, like throw away.
Mhm.
So tira is what you are throwing away. This
Okay.
is where the name is coming. So the people start to buy that. And what are you doing? Asado, which is the way to grill, de tira. So I am grilling a tira, and this is how the whole names start to get together.
Okay. All right.
Argentina in the 19th century, later 19th century. You hear me from there? In the
Just
later
barely.
19th century,
19th century, right?
and we start to export it meat.
Mm.
Argentina make a big deal with UK, and we exported a lot of meat. In that moment, a lot of abattoirs arrived to the country, and they brought new
Beef cuts.
beef cuts machines, electric ones, because it's not very good idea exported bones, the ribs. It was
Right.
part who stay in the country. For the reason
Right.
it start to be for the workers. And when they have these machines, they start to put in lines, like in this way.
So there was a technological element as well.
Yes. Argentina used to have a strong country, a very big country for production of corned beef, or even exported frozen meat to UK. A lot. And in different areas, always next to rivers, and they used to installate different abattoirs for meat production and then export it straight to Europe.
Yeah, I know that I see Argentine steakhouses almost everywhere that I go. Certainly in Europe, I can think of them all over in the Netherlands. I've seen them in Germany, and of course in America as well. That's a marketing element, right? Is to advertise your Argentine steaks.
Well, there's a name when you hear about meat. There is a name you will hear a lot, and this is the gaucho. Gaucho is going to be the Argentinian cowboy, if we can call it that way. So they were mixed between Europeans and natives. Sorry, I got this smoke in my face. And those guys, they were not accepted in society. So what happened? They started to be nomadics in the pampas, and they are the guys who were collecting these cattle, and they understood that the Europeans were looking for meat and for leather. So, especially leather. So because of this, what they have a lot was meat, grain salt, I mean rock salts because to dry the leather, and fire because of the cold of the pampas. And this is also why they start to eat beef. If you consider our country, we have more than 4,000 kilometers of coast, and we don't have fish culture, which is ridiculous. But yes, what happened? We had a gaucho full of cattle, and also when we began to be a republic, all our natives unfortunately were killed by the new inhabitants of the country. So that made disappear all the old traditions who were probably brought and made, were made by the original natives of the area. This is why if you talk about Argentina, main food, everything is related to beef. Also, we do a lot of bread and cheese. So it's like bread, ham, and cheese is going to be after meat the best. But then going down to Patagonia, what we produce the most is going to be the lamb. So Patagonia, especially, we do we call lamb on the cross. So it's very, very religious, but it's not the idea. We make a cross, so we open the lamb there, and it's cooked on the fire stand. So what happened? The wind is coming next to the fire and leaving all the heat on the lamb. It takes longer, but gets delicious. Sometimes people has an idea of lamb like maybe it's strong flavors. Until they try the Argentine lamb made in Patagonia, it's just amazing.
I love lamb, so that I'll look forward to that.
Sure, sure. Just taking care. Well, this is the traditional way. We don't really have a special grill to do it. We just take the simple most. We do, I want you to check this next to me. If you check behind, we have the fire up there, and then we have here only the coals, the chocks.
Right.
So we don't put the meat on the fire. We put it on the chocks.
Right.
So what we do first is we prepare the chocks in fire. Once they get heat enough, how do you try the heat? To be ready, I have to stand my hand there and count 12 seconds. And 12 seconds, it has to start to burn, and I will know that the fire is ready.
Wow.
So this is the hand meter of our fire. And of course, our meat never gets burned by the fire. It's just start cooking with the heat. This is why it takes longer. We start with the fire at 10 a.m. this morning to have all of this. And sometimes, if it's a very cold day, we take something like this and we cover the meat, so it makes like a little oven and start to cook with very, very slow fire. This is a tradition for us. Like if you do have a friend in Argentina and they will say on Sunday or Saturday, guys, I'm making asado. That's all you have to say. People understand that if he invites me for asado, what am I gonna do is I have to arrive there with a drink and something for the starter, maybe cheese, maybe salami, olives, and the women will fill and start in desserts and salads. All right, so everybody comes with something, and that means a lot of food. So well, we start to eat like cheese, olives, this stuff with maybe a glass of beer or wine. Normally we start with beer and we leave the wine for the beef. About 10:30, 11 in the morning, then the beef is ready at 1 and we're still eating. The beef we start with, let me show you a little bit here if this is possible. That's me again. There you go. All right, this is how it looks. We have the tira de asado right there. this is chorizo, the first coming, but then you see an onion and a capsicum,
Mhm.
right? Then we're doing some French fries, and we have some carrots and some tomato. Everything goes on the grill, as you can see.
Mhm.
We have a very extended fire culture in Argentina.
Yeah. So what happened? The first thing to coming off the grill is going to be the chorizo, all right? And and then we have the very common traditional dish, as we name choripan. Choripan is chorizo with pan. Pan is bread.
Okay.
So it's like a hot dog made with chorizo. We only put the sausage, some chimichurri, sometimes tomato and lettuce, and you know what to do with it. Um, and then the rest of the meat is still coming. The one who always is keeping in touch with is, in this case, Xavier. We call the asador, ending with an R. That means the one who makes the grill.
Right.
Let's say if it was English, a mistranslation would be the griller. you know, this
Right.
I mean it's just to show you how will it sound in Spanish,
Right.
to make you understand in the best possible way. So you will have a lot of people talking all together. It's not that you cannot really understand what is the conversation going. Everybody just talks and answers. And maybe I'm talking with somebody to my right, and I'm listening to the conversation back, and I just want to answer them, and I am not part of the conversation. So all of these things are happening in a normal Sunday in Argentina. We have Xavier right now doing chimichurri.
Do you know chimichurri?
The name sounds familiar. I think it's a Hispanic dish or a Mexican dish. What does it mean in Argentina?
It's basically it's a sauce you put with the meat,
Okay.
parsley, some garlic. Then we will put this is chili,
Okay.
red dried chili, and oregano. We mix with oil and vinegar, and we put next to the meat or whatever we eat. It's very traditional thing in Argentina. We eat this with every barbecue.
Well, the name is funny because it's chimichurri. It doesn't really means nothing.
Okay.
There's a theory that the first English to come here, they start to ask to the waiters or people who were asking for food, give me curry. And this is how the people start to say, what is curry? you know? In fact, they were not really understood the way of give me curry. So
Right.
what do they want? Oh, they say something. They want something like chimichurri.
Right.
It's what
Okay.
people just hear and they try to talk. So this is how the name got, and they start to mix some spices with olive oil and vinegar, and this is how we got our chimichurri. We don't eat any hard
Okay.
food. Our grill only have salt. Is the only ingredient or condiment we put on our grill. Um, so that is also the thing. Like you tell people, people ask, what you put on your beef? We say salt and heat. That's all we give to it.
Right.
Well, that's why we have also chimichurri. This chimichurri just gives a bit more of. In my case, I prefer to put it in the salad better than in the beef because I love the taste of our beef only with salt. But with salad, with the choripan, the chorizo gets very well. Kids love it just with bread. So when you have a meeting like this, you see the kids taking a piece of bread and put it in the chimichurri and to the mouth, and they just keep on the go. So
And is it you were talking about it's not too spicy, but does it have some spiciness to it with that curry powder in there with the pepper?
No, it's not spicy because this dry chili is not spicy, very spicy. The Argentinians don't like
yeah, it's
something
more like
really
sweet.
hot. They will say, "Oh, it's too strong." When you go to a restaurant and you ask a curry, they ask you, you want a real curry or you want Argentinian curry? Argentinian curry means not very hot.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more
And
like
I know I'm taking us away from the asado here, but is there a big Indian presence in Argentina? Are there a lot of Indian people there?
Not really, not really.
It's less than 4%.
Okay. I
Represent
just asked because there seems to be Chinese people and Indian people absolutely everywhere you go, and they're usually um, starting restaurants. That's kind of the thing that they do. So, just curious.
no, not here. No, we have Chinese here, a lot of them, but they work in a supermarket.
Okay.
Argentina Chinese is a agreement between governments, and in whole country, wherever you go, you will find a Chinese supermarket. That is, but not many restaurants. Argentina is opening that for cosmopolitan food. Not a long time ago, we Argentinians we have a the food in Argentina. Consider we are majority of Argentinians. We have Italian and Spain background. For that reason, the food we eat is a lot of pasta, a lot of meat, obviously, first meat, then
Right.
pasta, potato, and rice.
Mhm. Say
That is
is now in America, beef is reasonably priced. I mean, almost everybody can have some on their table, but it's it's more than many other kinds of foods. Is beef inexpensive in Argentina because of the high production?
Well,
oh, that's it's a difficult
it is.
question.
If you
Yeah,
compare with the rest of America, you could tell it's not expensive.
If you
Um,
consider it, the quality what you get
yeah,
is not expensive.
okay.
But then, if you think a minimal salary, a worker salary, it is difficult. Argentina is having a very big inflation in the last 10, 12 years, or
Mhm.
20 years, we should say. Every year is increasing more than 20% every
Mhm.
year. For that reason, the salaries always are trying to arrive to that point, but the salaries are not good. And
Right.
obviously, the people need more money. For the reason, meat is cheap. Yes, we think it's cheap because we are professionals and we have good salaries and we are the only incomes are in dollars. But regular working people, it's a bit difficult. They eat meat probably 3 or 4 times a week, but they look for cheaper parts.
Mhm. Sure.
so so let's keep on going with the chimichurri. Is that maybe any question, something else you might like, or maybe somebody send you a question you'd like
Actually,
to answer?
thanks for bringing that up. I will take a quick look at the website and see if today I can actually see if there's any questions. Um, I don't have any at this point, but I will check. This will take me just a half a second here.
So during this time, I'm gonna show you what are we getting ready for the other grill. We have some steaks on here. Uh, before this is the view we are having today of San Telmo. It's not
Okay.
the best view, but we are in a very, very nice area. This is the roof where we are right now, and we have the rest up there. This is how the normal roof or building in the south of Buenos Aires city will look like. Well, get ready, everybody. This is what we are going to eat after. All right, here we have this is granite. And the good thing of granite, it helps a lot to. Do you use the word unfries? Like when it is frozen and you just want to defrost. That's the thing. You have to defrost the beef. This helps a lot. So we put it to rest in here before going there. We have this grill here getting ready for that little steak. But the first going off could be probably the chorizo or the tira. They are very, very slim pieces of beef, the ones I show right there. But normally we eat a bit more thicker. So that's the grill we're having today.
Okay. Once again, I'm unable to see if anybody is commenting or questioning on the website. So it's,
Okay.
oh, wait a minute. Here's one comment. Let's see. Do I get to see it?
Great.
Yes, I have. This must be from earlier on. Mehet Kasem says, turn up the volume. So he
Oh
that
yeah,
must,
yeah.
yeah. Good comment. Thank you for that. And by the way, I turned my volume up for the speaker on my computer, and that helped too. So Medat, if you haven't done that, turn your volume up too. But we're at maximum volume now. So, but appreciate the feedback.
Yes, thanks. Yeah, today we have to do it out here, so it's very hard to drive the sound.
Mhm.
Um, we do it in the most home possible way to because this is how we do it, and because now in COVID times, it's like everybody is working from home.
Right.
All right. Well, I've been explaining before how we do the grill, like a normal grill in Argentina. Tell you a bit of why Xavier and myself, I mean, why I choose Xavier and why is him here today. Um, Xavier was been colleague of mine in the last 10 years, and we've been working together in different companies, and always we've had this nice relationship, very good friendship, also with his family. One day he offered me and he says, "Hey Lou, the only way these people have um, typic culture Argentine barbecue is going to a ranch 100 kilometers away, who can happen, but normally the time with groups is never enough, or somebody who do it in his home." And I start to think, well, you're right. I didn't really understood his meaning. And then he says, "I am offering my roof of your groups." And that very moment, I understood what he was thinking. If you come to Argentina, you can go to a restaurant, and a restaurant is going to be the same in every place in the world. If I take you to Argentine restaurant right down here, and you go to the one in your neighborhood, it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
All right. What's going to change is the one cooking is probably a proper Argentine that maybe in your country you will know if will happen or not. Um, so we make a design of maybe the girls in the group will not be able to make a salad or dessert because in the morning we'll always have a city tour or another activity before. So we took care of it. Then we say, all right, many things like you need a full day, and we try to do just in 4 to 6 hours. All right. So he decided this thing like to make people part of it. So we put everything on the table, and we have our tourists who during with me they are my sons and daughters, and they are all just talking and having a very nice time in this roof, chopping all this cheese and the salami and sharing everything between them. And when they have to bring is a drink they want to share, because that's what we do. We share everything. We put everything on the table to share. And we say, guys, forget about fork and knife. Use your hands. Come on. I mean, get dirty. Um, this is also the nice thing to be here. I mean, taste it from your fingers. Um, you you will really have a different experience of local, truth local experience. So I tried with a very small group. The next group was a bit bigger, and I think the biggest group we had here was about 16 persons, which is what most of the agencies, our kind of agencies, are bringing. So we just adequate the place with we brought electricity up here so we can have light. We got a better table with better chairs, and we try to make it better all the time. And we did never had a bad experience. I think we did a very good team with Xavier in the way to we know each other, we understand each other, and we don't have this feeling of leadership. It's like he's doing a thing, I'm in charge of my group, all right? And he can tell, "Hey, Lou, help me with this," and I'm just very happy to do it because it's not for him and it's not for me is for our tourists.
For the group.
So that gives sure that gives a great value. In that moment, of course, we do a little charge because we're using his home. He's cooking. He has to buy all the stuff we're doing. So we do on a small charge. But experience we have here is great, and people leave always happy.
Yeah.
How do we know that? Because the feedbacks, right? Sometimes we don't really get access to the feedback, but sometimes we have an email saying, "Hey, Lou, the last group you had, somebody mentioned that barbecue was the best, and most of the feedbacks of the group were very happy in that experience. Keep on the go." So for us was very, very nice to have an experience like this. Now Xavier is putting on the grill the beef I just showed before. Let me show you. This is how it's smooth. This kind of grill we call plancha. Plancha means iron, like you will iron your shirt or your coat. This kind of grill is the way we call them. So in this case, this will be bife as beef a la plancha, made on this kind of grill, or will be in Spanish, made on the iron.
Okay.
You see the tira is almost ready. Looks very good. The color is amazing. So it's gonna take a little bit out of it just to show it.
I think in a few minutes we can test. I've finished some chips.
We have a wood with French fries over there also. If you can see, it's made on the grill too. So we have words, like sentence, a phrase in Argentina. We say if it, run, fly, swim, goes to the grill.
Oh,
That was especially for the gaucho culture. They used to be very good hunters, but this is the thing. They don't go to the microwave. They just make a little fire, and everything goes on the fire.
everything goes in the grill. I think in China they've got a saying that they'll eat anything with legs except the table. A little bit different sentiment there.
We say if walk, fly, or swim, finish
Right.
on the grill.
Put it on the grill. I like that. I like that.
Yes. Well, just to give you an idea, this is, you see, the fire is under the grill, the
Right.
plancha down here, but not under.
Right. Still just using the coals under the meat that's
Yes,
straight.
so they both are being cooked in different ways. This is why this one, because it's grilled straight on a fire, is coming later. And it's probably leaving before on the rest, because the rest need to be cooked very, very, very slow.
Yeah. Now, the very few times that I've tried to assemble anything resembling a complicated meal for guests, the part that I always fail miserably at is having all the food ready at the same time. And I'm
Okay.
watching Xavier there managing the grill and turning and doing things. Is that a complicated process with asado, or is it just? I know you've done it many times. It looks easy and simple, but is that a complicated process or is it easy?
Well, this is the way I'm going to answer your question.
I start with asados. I learned to start a fire when I was 4 years old.
Okay. Well, I know that's what I'm saying. It looks easy when you do it, but I think if I were trying to manage that, it would be a disaster. So
I think it looks easy, yes, and for me it's easy. But
yeah,
in my family, we start very, very earlier to
Yeah.
learn this.
right.
It's like in Argentina, we used to have the idea the boys cook the barbecue and the ladies prepare the salad. In my house, it's not different. I learned to cook a barbecue when I was 10 years old. Now I am 40. It means more than 30 years practicing.
Okay, well, that answers my question. It is complicated, but you guys just make it look easy.
Well,
I think it's part of the fun. But we really enjoy the fires in Argentina. It's difficult to think do not make open fire. We don't consider it a barbecue if it's doing with gas.
Right.
For us, it must be open fire, and the most difficult part of this is keep open the fire.
Right.
Espera, hijo, que estoy hablando.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I
Right.
was looking for your question, for us, we say that once Argentines get on weekend, we turn back to the Stone Age. We feel passion for fire. So it's like, well, this is Sunday. I'm gonna make a fueguito. This is like a little fire in Spanish. So it's like we wake up very happy because we are going to make a little fire, and if we do a little fire, means we have something on the fridge ready to be on the grill.
Okay.
So normally it's something to drink, something to start having, let's say, good starter, and by the time you're hungry, you know what to do. So, especially people like Xavier who grew up on a farm, maybe we wake up and we go to make fire. It's immediately something we do, and if we drink mate like I was doing yesterday, we put the water also on the fire to keep on heat. So we have all the time this fire thing coming with us. In the case of the city, like maybe the neighbors start to feel the smoke. So, somebody's gonna eat a very nice asadito, like a little barbecue. So that's, I don't know if that answered your question. It's like we have this fire thing with us all the time.
Well, it certainly is a little interesting piece of culture about Argentina. I'm changing the subject a little bit. I'm always looking for ways to add authentic experiences, authentic cultural experiences to any of my tours. Are there opportunities when you're working with your tour groups with non-Argentine visitors to introduce them to that part of Argentine culture? I mean, can you make a little bonfire in a park somewhere? Is that ever part of what you? No, that's too difficult to.
No, in Argentina, public places are not for that.
But what about when you are in truly in Patagonia and out in the wilds? Is that also not possible?
In Patagonia, open fires are a bit dangerous. You have a
Okay.
lot of places, probably it's a private house, but in a
Right.
national park, it's allowed to make a fire because the wind, because the dry, and you can
Right.
burn everything.
Okay.
But depend the group depends a lot of the itinerary. If we have enough time
Right.
to do this, because if you tell me make a barbecue for the group, you finish the activity at 5 p.m. I know time. Really,
Right.
I know time. I need to buy. I need to start a fire. It's not just 5 minutes.
Right.
We need some organization, previous organization.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like we need to make sure we have wood enough, if we have chalks enough. Um, if we are going to do this because we want to grill something, we have to make sure we have enough beef per person. ¿Cuánto calculas? ¿Un kilo por persona?
Right.
We think about half a kilo per person of just meat. Then you have to count, we have the salads and many other things coming with it. So at least you'll have a kilo of food per person.
What we like to say about this is where the itineraries normally are a bit compact and they don't leave time because this is activity who need 5 or 6 hours.
Right.
When Lucianos come with the groups, they come around 6 p.m. and they leave my house at 11.
Hmm.
Nobody complained because they dinner at 9:30,
Right.
which is not very unusual, not very usual in between Europeans or North Americans. They don't like it that late. But here they understand we have a very relaxed way. We start with salami, cheese, then we go for the meat, and they take like excursion. Yeah,
Yeah.
need time, need time. Bueno, nosotros
Vamos con uno. Perfecto. Okay. I think we're ready.
All right.
Well, probably chorizo is ready to go. What we
Okay.
do is a cut we call mariposa. Mariposa means butterfly. So we just cut it in the middle and in the middle, and we open it. So that's the butterfly cut. So I'm just gonna do it in 1 minute, and I'm gonna show you just next to you. I do have a thing. I brought this just to show because it's also part of our culture. The names are going to be a bit funny translated in English. Those are Portuguese words, so please don't be offended. This is just how the things are named. All right. So let me change camera. Okay. What you're looking here is where Sadir was doing the chimichurri. So we still have, by the way, that's Sadir's chimichurri, ready to get some olive oil and garlic. This is the knife of gaucho. We do have a culture of knives. And normally gaucho has in his back a knife bigger than this one, but this is the style. The Portuguese word for knife is faca. All right. So, and when it's big, we in Spanish, everything which is bigger ends in ote or maybe on. So in this case, it's facon. So I was gonna say that the words could sound a bit funny. Sorry for that. So in this case, this is from a factory, but they do have very nice works done, like just handicraft. All right. So what happened? If you go to a farm, normally on the table, they don't put dishes. They will put boards like this one, and they only will put a fork. All right. They put a fork because everybody will bring its own knife. So
Oh,
it was funny. You probably going to a barbecue watching, and you see this table set, and you know that everybody will have its own knife. You only see the glass, of course. You see the board, and you will see a fork. And if you're not in touch with the culture, you can say, "How are we gonna cut the beef?" Well, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? The first chorizo is coming to the table.
okay.
This is this is chorizo. It's 100% pork. In Argentina, we have different ways to cook to make the chorizo, but the most popular way is pork chorizo. We divide it in two. Now we open as a butterfly, like Luciano said.
So we have the first butterfly over there, and the second one right here. Now bread is coming, and this is the first choripan. So if you do on the dish, as we call plato, the word for dish, you can say chori plato, which is not that common, but it's like a kind of joke. But this is named choripan.
It is not possible to say chorizo sandwich.
Of course.
Okay.
That is wrong.
All right. Make sure we warn our travelers of that.
Yeah, put on the trip notes. Oli,
Whoa.
sorry, Azor.
This is a moment for children.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. So we're always a fight for the choripan, as you can check. Do you feel like home?
Yes, absolutely. Complete with
That's the
children.
plan.
Yeah.
That is the plan. So now Sabir is just cutting a bit of chorizo just to put on the table. He's doing something different now. Let me show you. What he does, he is cutting pretty much smaller, as you can tell. And
Okay.
here the idea is he's gonna do it on pan also with bread, but you can just turn with some cheese or a little tomato, whatever thing, and have yours. Just like let's say like a bite side, right?
Like
So you just
like
eat
a
it,
what?
having some. Do you say bite side, like to
Uh,
something small?
yeah.
Yep.
Bite size, or these days people call those sliders. I'm not quite sure why, but a little bite size sandwich or hamburger or something, they call them sliders.
Oh, perfect. New word for me.
Yep. I get the
Well,
slides
actually,
down easy. I don't know. Yeah. I don't,
this
you
is
know, I hate to get myself in trouble, but it looks like a little sandwich to me.
well. If I tell you a thing, it is a
It's a
sandwich.
sandwich. It's a sandwich. But basically, we never call a sandwich.
Yeah. So it's
Well,
funny. I mean, it goes that far that you tell people, "Do you want a sandwich or a choripan?"
yeah. Well,
This is
hey,
all
my rule is when I come to a country, I want to travel as a temporary Argentine. So I want to use the right terminology. Absolutely. And I want to teach my people
sure.
this.
Well, there's a thing I didn't talk about, and is this is just a very very small grill. If I tell you we do grilled chicken, you can think something dry and well. If you ever come to Argentina, don't miss to try the grilled chicken. Grilled
Okay.
chicken is gonna be amazing, very juicy, very well cooked, and taste amazing. We in this case, like beef, we do only with grain salt or rock salt. The chicken we do with lemon and beer. They are the condiments, like main condiments of. We can put maybe a bit of basil or oregano when we're cooking, but
Mhm.
the main ingredients. The first one is gonna be lemon. It can not. We don't do it with no lemon. And if you want to give it a special flavor, beer goes on.
Okay. That sounds delicious. I,
That
I
is
don't know.
also.
I don't know if you noticed, but when you said that, I wrote it down in my notes over here so that I won't
I
forget
saw
to.
you. I really saw you. Um, well, then we put some other parts, like the intestines. We call them. It sounds more Chinese, but it's Argentine. Believe me. We call them chinchulin.
Insulin.
Uh, yeah. So sometimes you go to grills and they have all those tribes. They are. It's just the cover of the tribe filled with cream with lots of ingredients inside, mostly green ingredients. And on the grill, they get amazing. Sometimes I give the choice to my people, to my tourists, to get a try of this. Some of them get impressed and they just don't want to try. Some others get curious because of the smell, and they say, "This smell is good. It cannot have a bad flavor," and then they go. Um, then we have the others. We call them. Uh, sí, ¿cómo se llama? A sweetbread. I think you call it sweetbread.
Sweetbread.
There's another part of thing in English you call sweetbread. We call mocheja in Spanish.
Wheat breads. Yeah.
And yes, so also when you tell people what that is, they look at you like you're kidding
Yeah.
until they see you eating and they see your face. When they see how happy I get with that thing in my mouth, I can do a little try, and after that they just go for it.
Yeah.
So you will see those things; they are normal. We do a lot of that, and the same system. Um, so whatever they offer you, believe me, is gonna be great. Don't get yourself feel. I mean, don't think in the name or what you know that is. Just go
Right.
and try it because you'll feel a great difference, and none of these will make you feel sick.
Yeah. That makes me think of the anticuchos in Peru. Do you have the same in Argentina? Anticuchos?
Not
Is it?
anticuchos, but with everything. Instatin,
Okay. We don't have to tell our
rice
viewers
or
today what we're talking about. They can. It can be a travel discovery when they come.
but I think it's just the main part of this is a lot of meat. I
Yep.
like to cook vegetables, and then if you really are interested to try everything, you have the chance. We really enjoy that part. But really, I prefer don't cook much parrillada or achuras, which is street breast, instant, whatever, because it's not much sense cook something people will think I don't like, and then finish there and nobody eat it. If somebody say yes, yes, I am really prepared to eat this, I will cook it for them. But I prefer that it's about not wasted food.
Very good.
Yeah, what we offer is an experience of something very
Exactly.
local that is not easy to find. I mean, if you don't have a local friend, by the time we end the tour, we have. I mean, we build a relationship with tourists, with your customers. We have a link. I have to tell. It's like you taking care of them all the time. You know what they don't, what um, what they cannot have. If they have an allergy, you have all those things in your mind all the time. So you really know that you're taking them to a place where they will be comfortable with the food. So we try to do the basic most easy to learn, easy to eat, um, likely for everybody. But sometimes, if you are on the street or in a town and you see this happen, you can explain. Listen, this is what these guys are doing, and then you always offer who's gonna try, right?
Right.
In my tours in Patagonia, something I do a lot. I got with the mate, drinking a lot of mate, and people get curious of that drink because it really doesn't look like a tea. People think it might be a drug or something, and it's
Right.
just a very bitter green tea, very strong. Kind of, it's not a green tea, but flavor is very, very similar. Um, and it's like I just made up this curiosity for what the drink is, and I start to keep like the mystery of it, right? And I like to make the try getting to the end of the trip because I know it's too bitter for them and it's an acquired flavor, and many people doesn't really like it.
Uh-huh.
So they just try and that's it. But they get the experience to try something different. Some other people who are very in touch with the strong teas, they love it and they want
Right.
to keep on the go. But it's about everybody. I mean, it doesn't mean it's good or bad. Somebody will like, somebody don't. So the same thing we do with the things we can consider people will know like, or they will be feel like afraid to taste. It's like we do an open offer, but they don't really have to go for it if they don't feel they like or don't feel comfortable eating something they are not used to.
Okay. So are you guys getting ready to weigh in there and enjoy that feast?
I think we're ready. Let me show you how is this grill before something disappear. Check this out.
Right.
Okay, you see the color. So remember, this is the plancha, and that is
Right.
the tira de asado. Colors are great. We have some French fries going up there. The carrots. We have onions. The tomato on the bottom, as you can see. So everything is ready. Whoa. Remember the chimichurri? This is Javier just putting the last bit of oil in there. And this is how it looks.
Uh-huh.
We have garlic, parsley, oregano, and red dry chili.
Right.
Dry red chili. It's not so spicy, but it's very, very good for the meat. It's something fresh. Okay.
There we go. So this is our table today. A lot of food in there. The first beef is coming.
This part of meat we call arañita. Every cow only have two arañitas. They are next to the heart, and it's very tasteful meat and very soft.
Ya sé, es un dinosaurio que hasta se podría sudar y el dinosaurio no lloraría.
Oli, ¿te sirvo carne?
Sí. Ahora yo seguiré con lo mío.
I am cooking for my children here.
Son letras.
They always attack.
Son letras. Son letras. Una papa no.
Okay. Asta is the next one. Then we have oil on the bottom. And so we are giving some food to it.
Arañita. Deja.
More arañita coming. The rest is first.
Y acá tenemos, this is ribeye.
Okay.
Bueno, ¿con qué vas a arrancar? ¿Un cachito de dejo?
Dale. We leave the fats to cook, and after cook, we take them off because the fats are going to irritate the beef and give most of the flavor. So we leave them very, very for the last. If you see, we just cook and put the fats a bit away. If you see, we have no dishes. We are sharing the same board, and this is in this case because we're friends. But it's very common to share board with somebody, and we just put everything there, and we just talk and share. In this case, well, you might think, how are we doing with the COVID? And well, in this case, I am coming to my friend's home, which I could be a menace for them. So I really did clean up myself with all the possible alcohol. I didn't took public transport, pay an Uber to come down here. Also to protect these people. If I take a private public transportation to come here, I'm just putting them in danger, and this is not the idea. We want to do this the safe way possible. They had a PCR yesterday. Mine is gonna do tomorrow because I have a trip to the north of Argentina, and I've been vaccinated, but also I still taking care of myself all the time. I have my mask with me most of the time, so I try to have no contact with people, wash my hands with alcohol. So I try to do the things to be the safe most possible.
Sounds good.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetito. So listen, should we wrap up so that you can sit down and enjoy that asada that you have made?
We can do it. I mean, you can come here if you want.
Well, I am jealous. I'm jealous, but you know, this gives me something to look forward to. We're coming next March, so I'm looking forward to experiencing that firsthand and experiencing it more than just visually, because that's only part of. I can't even smell it the way you guys can. So
well, you can do it in a restaurant, but you better talk with Xavier and come to his home.
well, I would love to do that, but we'll have to talk because my groups are a little bit bigger than that. So but we'll talk. We will absolutely talk.
Bigger. How big?
24, 26.
We find a way.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. We'll find a way. We'll sit on top of each other.
We find a
Hey
way.
guys.
It's about good volunteer.
Yeah. Well, perfect. You know, thank you so much, because I know that we those of us who've been watching here for the last hour, we've just seen the end of the process. I know you guys started early this morning, getting everything ready and stoking the fire. So I really appreciate the effort. And this was fantastic. And I'm glad that now you two are going to have your reward there with the fantastic asada barbecue. So thank you so much. And that's a wrap for us on Cucina Quarentina, everybody. Tomorrow we will have Luciano back again, and I'm still working on having my colleague Osha on to show us a little bit of tango. And let's see, aren't we going to see you again, Xavier, at some point during the week? No, we're not. Sorry. Anyway, we still have more to go with Buenos Aires and Argentina. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And thank you guys so much for showing us this barbecue. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Buenos dias. All right.